To come out here in the yard and make a video, and right now the neighbor's dog is quiet, so that's a plus. Woohoo! But what I wanted to talk about is dogs in general, and this harmful, I think it's been beneficial and harmful. For those who know dogs well, it's been entertaining and it's been nice. The cute little Disney movies that we see with the dogs talking, and we see this almost, that they almost have I don't know. We all know when we have dogs, they have a personality. You say things to them, they turn their head and they look at you, and a lot of times they do truly understand what we're saying because we've said it to them so much, and they know what's coming next after certain things. Like, do you want a bath? They run hide under the bed. They know what that means. Do you want to go bye-bye? They know what that means. There's certain things that they understand. And so it's, we understand that dogs have a mentality that is similar to a child of about, depending on the intelligence of your dog, anywhere from 0 to 5, okay? You may have a really stupid dog, or you may have a really smart dog who's up there at the 5-year-old range. Or you may have, kind of a dog that's kind of like, well, yeah. But regardless of that, your dog's mentality is in that range. Okay. That has brought on some good and some bad. Now, we have to understand that we would not put our 2-year-old in a fenced-in yard for 5 hours with a bowl of water while we're gone to work to scream the entire day while we're gone to work and be okay with that, right? Right. So why would we do it and expect our neighbors to be okay with it if it's our dog? All right? Now, keep following me. We wouldn't put our 5-year-old out in the front yard all night to scream all night to the chagrin of our neighbors, right? Okay, so now if these are truly your babies, and you want to, oh, this is my baby, I can't put a citronella bark collar on my baby. No, but you can leave your baby in the front yard barking all day long. I'm sorry, but what do you think your 3-year-old child would feel like after screaming all day long while you're gone to work? Come on. Is this really your baby? Pausing to let you think about that for a minute. I just am not getting this. It's not working for me. You either have this wonderful dog that you love so much. Now, if your dog is out in the yard and it's barking all day, and every time it barks and disturbs the neighbors, you say, well, every time it barks, I bring it in. Okay, you've just taught it to bark. You need to go out there and instruct it, no, so that every time you let it out for 40 minutes, it doesn't bark the entire time. Because what you do by letting it in when it barks is teach it that if it barks, you're going to let it in. Now, that's okay if it just goes woof, woof at the door and you let it in. But if it's barking for 40 minutes and then you let it in, then it knows that if it barks continuously, you're going to let it in. Are you seeing my point? That's like if you're in a grocery store and your child throws a fit and it screams and hollers and throws itself on the floor, and you give it the cookies anyway. The next time you go to the cookie aisle, the child is going to repeat the same process. Are you following me? Okay. This is not working. You have to go ahead and let the child have the fit and say, no, you're not going to get the cookies. It might throw the fit the next time. No, you're not going to get the cookies. The behavior has to change. You have to say, if you're not good in the store, you're not going to get the cookies. Okay? With the dog, it has to be much the same thing. You need to go outside and keep the dog from barking and then let it in. The only way the dog can get it let in the house is to bark for 45 minutes. So of course it's going to bark for 45 minutes. Of course it's going to bark for 3 hours. It has nothing to deter it from that behavior. And the only way it's ever gotten in before was to bark. Hello, you have trained it to bark in the yard. Now, you need to think about this. If your neighbor, and this is what everybody was complaining about, they posted an article, the television station, should people be jailed for excessive barking of their dogs? No, I don't think they should. Come on, really? People just need some help. And everybody was on there, well, if your 10 kids are out in the yard screaming, exactly. Okay, but your child, your furry little child, is out in the yard screaming. Okay? I really doubt that for 5 solid hours that somebody's got a 3-year-old standing in the backyard screaming top notch. So where's the comparison? And if there is, then there is an agency that takes care of those types of things. So people have resources to deal with people who are neglecting their children to the point that they are screaming for 5 hours at a time in their yard. But we don't have resources that adequately deal with people who have dogs that are barking for 5 hours at a time. People say, oh, we'll just ignore it. I don't know. Maybe you've never been in the situation to where you've had to deal with someone that has a dog like that. And until you do, I just have to say, I hope it never happens to you. Because I feel irritated enough about the neighborhood dog, and I feel absolutely grievously sorry for the girl that had to move out next door. They would pen that dog up in a bedroom that was right next to her bedroom window with the window opened, and it would bark inside the house while they were gone. Yeah. She had to leave her home. If that happened to somebody because somebody's children were being so bad and screaming so loudly, they would simply call and report them, and something would be done about it. See, that doesn't happen when you have someone with a dog problem. This has gotten way out of perspective, and I don't know what else to say. But this situation where we care more about pets than humans is over the top. It's really over the top. There should be no situation where a human has to leave their home. They can't sleep to go to work. There really shouldn't be. Oh, that's my daughter's doggy. Okay, that's great. I think that everyone should have a pet, but I think that they should take responsibility for that pet. And just like society is going to force you to take responsibility for your children, they're not going to let you send them out into the yard for 5 hours a day screaming at the top of their lungs. So don't even make that comparison. It doesn't make sense. It really doesn't. The comparison is foolish. Oh, well, dogs bark. What do you expect? Yes, they do. And if I got a dog, I would expect that it would bark and let me know if there was something going on. Even if there was a stray cat up on the fence, I'm going to come outside and say, it's just a cat. Okay, hush up now. That's enough. I'm going to let the dog know, yep, I see the cat. All is well. And if you'll acknowledge your dog's barking and let them know, hey, good job, buddy, enough, it'll probably help the situation a lot. But what I see here is nothing is happening with this dog down the street. It just stands out in the yard and barks for 5 hours, and then they finally let it in. They are training it to bark. They are reinforcing that behavior by not going out and saying, oh, what's up, buddy? What's going on? What's going on? Nope, it's all good. It's all good. Hush up now. Hush up. Not a thing. So don't tell me. No. If your child is crying, you go in and you say, what's wrong? What's wrong? Oh, no, there's no monster under your bed. It's okay. If these are truly your babies, treat them that way. But don't make the rest of us go, oh, well, it's a dog. What do you expect? Well, I don't have a dog, so I don't expect to deal with yours. You don't expect to deal with my children. I don't expect to deal with your dog. Simple as that. If you have a car that's making a horrible, loud, obnoxious noise, the cops are going to go ahead and give you a ticket for it. I'm not going to have to deal with that. You're just not putting this into perspective. This isn't Disneyland. Your dog is not Bolt or Benji or Rin Tin Tin. Your dog has no training. Your dog is in the backyard disturbing all of the neighbors, and you are making excuses by blaming something else. I'll deal with my children if they're screaming, and you deal with your dog. And quit trying to push the blame game. Really. It works out better for everyone when everyone deals with what is and owns their own problems. Right. Now, go ahead, get mad if it makes you feel better. But go out in the yard because your dog is barking and say, hey, buddy, what is it? Look around, see if you see anything, and make your dog feel better about what's going on, and I guarantee you, it'll go a long ways. Have a great day.